All right, welcome back, everyone, to another Gents challenge. And Alec, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I don't know why I don't know what that accent was. Oh, I'm
Uh,
doing all right.
all right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we're joined by a special guest here. It's Nest without a hat. It's
It's half
Luke.
a Ness.
Yeah.
Hello.
He got Mario 64 like wind
Yeah,
blown.
Vulture has my hat somewhere. I
Yeah.
gotta go find it.
Yeah. So if you're new to the channel, first of all, we can talk about why we're in costume here. It's the month of October, which means it's our tradition. We dress every week in October in something new. And Donkey Kong is a recurring one that I've done every year. And I know Alec, you've at least done it once before. I don't know if you've done
Yeah,
it.
I've done uh Obito Uchiha several times now, I think. I've
One
done
we
like
all
different
like to.
versions. I did like Toby. I've done the Toby. I've done with the Sharingan mask. I've done with
Toby
a few
from The
different versions.
Office.
Toby
That was
from
a
The
good one.
Office. Yeah, yeah.
Iconic.
I had his bean. His bean. Yeah, I spill his beans all over. Yeah, that's usually what
Wait, what?
my. I know
Those
that's not.
beans.
I know that's not Toby. I know that's not Toby. That was
Oh,
a joke.
Alright.
Um, that's yeah. No, that's Kevin's beans.
Kevin,
But
yeah, Kevin
yeah.
Malone. All right.
Okay.
So,
All
and
right. Well,
also,
I'm.
yeah,
Ugh, no, it's hot already. I'm getting taken.
unmasked.
Oh
secrets
my
Kevin.
revealed.
gosh, no!
Yeah.
It's Alec actually, not Obito. Oh my
And
gosh.
then also worth noting is what is the Gents Challenge? If you're new, there's a thing in our Discord community that we're a part of where it's called the Gents Challenge, and most of the challenges involve being partnered up with someone randomly, and then you each have a list of games from your backlog that you are able to pick from and assign each other within a 2-month deadline. If you beat one, you're a gent. If you beat both, you're a supreme gent. If you beat neither, you're a rascal and shamed for eternity. But we do this every couple months. And Luke, for a while, I've been saying he should. I've been mentioning the Gents
Beware.
Challenge, and it's just one of those things. And once you got in, was it the first one you did? The last one, the chosen one.
Chosen one. Yeah. That was a good first one, too. It was a fun theme.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Praise be to the chosen one in all his eternal
yeah.
glory.
my bud Dubs. Yeah, he got to
Yeah.
be the chosen one, and he had a lot of fun doing that. So,
Yeah.
it's actually, funnily enough, continuing on. This was his nomination as
Nice.
well.
Yeah.
So
And Luke, I hope I'm not doxing you with this, but your theme was actually the one I was back
It
and forth
was.
with for a while.
I almost won with my theme, but it was a good theme to lose to. I'm
Yeah.
not upset.
which theme was the one you
I
had?
had the community lockout, or I forget what we called it, but basically it would have been a list of a bunch of games, and then everybody picked one to X.
So
And whatever two were
Oh
left.
yeah, that was a fun one. I think that was like one of the. It was this one, and I think that was one of the others
Yeah.
that I voted for. I liked that one.
Yeah, it was a back and forth poll. It was a contentious vote. But the thing with that challenge is I was actually thinking about like, wow, that's going to be hard to do logistically. I was trying to figure out how can I possibly coordinate this. Like it's hard enough to get people to get on there and assign the games, but they'd have to like get on in order, in a certain order, eliminating like everybody's games. So it would have been interesting to figure out. But then this one,
Make it hard for you.
this one had a late surge though. The Buddy Cop Gents Challenge, which essentially was Dubs' idea that you'd make your own pairs in your list, and they'd be like thematically tied to each other, whether it's like games in a series or any sort of theme. People got real creative and also took some big liberties with some of their pairs.
Ninja Penguin.
Yeah. I still remember the Rebel. It was the Rebel of the Rebellion had Mario Party 3 and a Lupin the Third game.
Because they had the number
Three.
three
Yeah,
in there.
there's a 3 in there, but it's like the Lupin the Third is the name of the anime. It's not like the
Yeah.
third game or anything. It just happens to have a 3 in it. It's like, okay, I guess. But I
This is the
tried.
third Lupin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to have some diversity in my picks. I would have and made so I would be happy with whatever I got, really. But all right, let's talk about ultimately who we were paired with, what games we got, and how we think we'll do on the challenge. Alec, how
Yeah.
about you? I was worried you wouldn't
Okay.
get in there in time.
Oh yeah. Oh, we were working on it. I was working hard. I was working hard and working. Well, you didn't think you'd get in. I'd get in on time, which I did. I got in before our Pathfinder game that night. And then Dubs and I were telling everybody, Dubs in particular, but I was also like telling two of my other friends, who are one of which is doing this for the first time. My friend Tara, who's our GM in our Pathfinder game, she was getting excited about it, and my friend Josh was excited about this, so they got jazzed up on it. And we were like, "Hey, you got a few hours until the deadline's closed, so you guys should participate." And they did. But yeah, I got mine in too. And the games I was chosen to in my list, I think, what was the name? I'm trying to think of what the name of my category was now. It was something about like something about investigation, something about like
Visual novels with like investigation.
yeah, I'm trying to remember
Yes.
what the exact name of the category was. Did we lock out that or no, I think you must have included the name of
Yes.
it on there.
I mean, yeah, it's all up if you scroll up to where your list was. Yeah.
I have to scroll up. Oh my goodness. Well, that's easy enough to do. I can just do
Check
from
the
me.
receipts.
Luke also, for those that don't know, Luke and I have known each other for years. Was it
Go back.
eighth grade? Was that the first?
I
Or
think
we-
so. Yeah. Who?
Where we
well,
bonded over
whatever
Let's
team.
Plays and what else?
That's
What else was going on at that time?
Just being epic gamers,
We were epic
Being
gamers,
super
probably top
epic-
two,
epic
probably
freaking
top
gamers.
two in the class. Epic gamers,
Absolutely.
sure.
We
Oh,
had
yeah,
a
okay.
great Sims playthrough.
We did play The Sims
Okay.
2 co-op on the GameCube. Had a great player playthrough. Yeah, was it Woody Normus and Mike Hunt were the two characters?
Mike Hunt, classic name.
Yeah,
Um,
you gotta give it up for Mike Hunt. Everybody loves Mike Hunt.
He's still out there doing something.
I remember the funniest name I've ever. Mike Hunt is just a wonderful like fake name. But there was a real name I came across in a textbook one time that was like someone's actual name, which I think it was Hugh G. Dick.
Yeah,
And I was like, wow, Huge Dick has made this textbook. That's incredible.
Well, of
Yeah.
course he did.
Yeah.
How could he not?
At that point, yeah. So anyway, so my category was called "I'm on the Case." That's what it was.
Mm.
So and
We'll
it's
see.
Phoenix
And
Wright,
we'll see if he is.
and we'll see if we are. Well, I was challenged Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, which I have the Phoenix Wright collection, the original collection here. Is the import copy because I don't think they released this physically overseas. So, but the cool part about this is that it does, if you plug it into your Switch is region free, and it'll just recognize that you have the trilogy. I think this is called the Ace Attorney trilogy. I think is what they call it. So,
That's cool.
so yeah, I've already been playing the game. I'm in the middle of Case 3, and I'm having a wonderful time. I think this game is super fun. I think the writing is really clever. I know, in terms of like localization, it had to have been just an astronomical challenge because if the English version is any indication, the Japanese version is just riddled with wordplay and puns. So having to translate that into English is just a monumental task, and I think they've done a really, really good job. I think really the only thing that's kind of awkward is that they changed the setting to be in the US. But from what I understand, both this game and like later games kind of poke fun at the fact that you're in America, Japan, basically, for it. So it's been very fun. Really, really been enjoying my time with that. And the second game I have is not actually this game,
Whoa.
this is Emio the Smiling Man, which is the new Famicom Detective Club game that just came out recently. But it's the first game in the Famicom Detective Club. So the remakes they made, I think it's the Missing Heir, I believe, was the one I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Missing Heir. Yeah, that's the original. Because the girl left behind or something like that. Or the girl who stands behind is like the prequel to that. But technically, it came out in Japan when they were releasing them. I think that originally came out after. So, so the Missing Heir is the first game of those. So
Yeah, I'll say we did play. My brother and I did play through that game, and we weren't like we weren't blown
Overly-
away by it. Yeah, but
overly enthused, yeah.
I think that some of the stuff might just be a little dated. Like it was just kind of annoying to us, like this format where it's like we had no idea what to do next. Like we've gone through every option, and it's like, oh, it turns out you have to go back and do the same option like multiple times before it like triggers a certain thing.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
that's
That is
annoying.
kind of an older with menu based point and click. That is very that feels very much like one of those kind of things. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I started it like a long time ago, like when they first came out. I picked them up, but I didn't get very far, so I'm just gonna restart. Originally, so I was paired with I was actually in the triple threat that happened this time around.
That's right. So whenever there's an odd number of people in a Gents challenge, the ones at the end all become a trio. They assign for one of the other people in the trio because it's just the only way to work it out.
Right. So Boss Chaz was my partner. And
He assigned you those games, or you assigned his?
Yeah. So he assigned me these games. So originally he picked out, I think he originally picked out the category. It was called Mario Madness, and it was Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. And that's totally fine, but while he assigned me that, there was already tons of conversation going on in the channel in the Discord server with people being like, have you played this? Did you play this game? How far did you get in this? Is this actually blind? That kind of thing. And then I thought, I was like, I wonder if this would change his mind if he'd known, because in his description, he was like, yeah, I can't wait for you to play through the Thousand Year Door for the first time. And I was like, well, I played through that game like 2 or 3 times on the GameCube, so it wouldn't be a completely new experience. Does that change your mind a little bit? And then he was like, yep, it does. You're gonna play these other games instead. So I'm glad to finally get an excuse. I've been wanting to play through Phoenix Wright for a very long time. So that was a lot of fun. And I was paired to choose for my friend Broccoli the Guardian. Or Josh, and he had a bunch of fun pairs. I was really torn for a while, but when I saw that he had a game, I think his list was like, I really like shitty games, and he had Deadly Premonition, which is one of my favorite games of all time. It's not a very good game, but it is a 10 out of 10 experience. It's a great story, and it's a really weird and wacky game, and it's not a very good game, but it's a lot of fun. And then also Y2K, a postmodern RPG. So those are the 2 games in his thing. And Y2K is kind of infamously bad game. There's a Let's Play channel that we both really like. Oni plays, and they've played through Y2K. Or Yeek, as they like to call it.
I was thinking as Yik.
Yeah, Yeek or Yik, because that's what the game makes you feel, because the protagonist is an asshole. So whose name is Alex, and so we refer to him as Alex Yeek. No relation, thankfully. Thankfully, his name is, it's not quite mine, but yeah. So I'm having him play through those. These are I would consider these probably the so bad it's good of the video game world. Like nothing, it's particularly Deadly Premonition. I don't know how much of Geek is actually all that fun. The game seems like the mechanics of it seem like they're fun for like the first 5 to 10 battles that you're playing, and then it seems like a chore. It's like take the action commands of Paper Mario, except way slower and way more fiddly. And you have to do that with every character, every single action, and it seems pretty bad. So, anyway, so yeah.
Alec, did anyone at any point in your life did people refer to you as Alex, or did anyone ever call you that regularly?
All the time. Oh, all the time. Because because my name is Alexander, and I often do.
Right.
when I'm introducing myself, I usually say that like I'm Alexander when I'm introducing myself to like customers say, and so then they'll call me Alex, and then sometimes they'll be like, "Is it Alexander or Alex?" And then sometimes it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll be like, "Actually, I'll explain the whole thing where my parents want my nickname to be Alec, so it's actually Alec." And other times I'll just be like, "Alexander is fine," because I kind of don't really like being called Alex.
Yeah.
The only person that I make that exception for is my Grammy, because I've never wanted to correct her throughout my whole life.
Yeah.
She's always called me Alex,
It's
and I've
too
never
late.
had the heart. I've never had the heart. Even when I was little, I was like, she can call me that. She's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Luke,
Yeah.
did at any point in your life did anyone call you Alex?
I don't believe so. Surprisingly,
Did you have any?
there is one lady
There's not
at
much
my
to
work.
do with your name, is there?
Oh, it's
Lou.
pretty cut and dry.
Lucas is it Luke or Lucas?
It's just Luke.
It's just
But
Luke.
I've had
alright.
that asked. But there's one lady who comes into my work and keeps thinking my name's Kyle. So that's
Just
I'm
to
like,
see
oh,
you
I
are
mean,
now.
it's fine. I could be Kyle if you want.
It
Doesn't
was-
It could be anything you want me to be. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
There's
Sure.
some guy in our choir that we used to just call. Everyone thought his name was Greg, and his name and apparently it was Chris.
Mhm.
But I started calling him Gary. I just called him Gary. And Zach, that's an All Gen Gamers reference.
Right.
I called him Gary,
Yeah.
and I did that for the
Just for
whole
that guy.
entire time I knew him. I called him Gary.
Yeah, my name's Zachary, and yeah, it's just always been Zach. You know, I've had online because I used to have my name was like ZRPG or Pokemon ZRPG, so people would refer to me as Z, which just kind of worked
Yeah.
sometimes. But
Yeah,
I never
you
really
go.
got much more than there's not much more you can do with it. My mom would like used to call me like Zachariah, like when she was like mad, or, like Zachariah. So my name is Zachary Robert Archer. So sometimes she would say Zachariah Bobby.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's pretty basic. We got some pretty basic names on this show here. The fuck?
yeah. We need to get something like weird or wild. What's
Let's
going
say
on?
Rusty is a
You gotta
pretty
have the
interesting.
foundations.
Well,
Yeah, Rusty.
we've had some interesting ones, I guess, in the past.
Yeah,
We've had Tiger, so
yeah. Tiger. That's a strong name and a half.
yeah.
So.
All right, so how do you think you're gonna do overall in the challenge? What are you predicting for yourself, Alec?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
It's back to me.
Because you
Oh,
never
yeah,
said
I'm-
about how you're gonna
Oh,
do.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% doing this. I'm
100%
winning.
Supreme
I'm,
Gent, or
I'm gonna Supreme Gent this. Absolutely. I feel very confident. I'm already. I don't know how many cases are in each game, but like I'm having such a blast with this. Like I'm probably gonna beat this within the week or two.
yeah.
I'm gonna be going on vacation towards the end of this week, but that's just gonna give me more time to play this and the Famicom Detective Club game, which is also on my Switch, so always on the go.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Luke, how's your? Who'd you get paired with? What did you get
I
assigned?
got
and all that.
paired with film buff Josh Prep
That's right.
with the cool Okami profile picture.
Mm.
And I gave them their pairing was, I think it's Adventure Time, something adventure themed.
Hmm.
And I thought he's got Tunic in there, which I've heard is good, and I
Mm.
am meaning to play. And he also had Hyrule Warriors in there, which I've played a lot of, like too much of. So I thought I'd love to hear like what his favorite characters are, if he likes the game, if he thinks it's very tedious. I think that'll be fun.
Now you
Fuck
played.
discourse,
Did you play
man.
the second one, Age of Calamity?
I have. I played the original Wii U release a lot, and then I bought it on the 3DS, and then I got it on the Switch again.
Wow,
and
no
like every
kidding.
time, yeah, I played too much of it. I can't play it anymore. It like puts me to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get like 1 or 2 missions in, and then I gotta clock out.
'Cause I just
Yeah.
remember hearing some people not a huge fan of Hyrule Warriors, but I heard a lot of praise for Age of Calamity, specifically.
It's better, but since it's only a Switch game, it's kind of it chugs real bad. And
Mhm.
especially I played it co-op with my girlfriend, and some of those later levels you gotta play at like 10 FPS.
Oh no.
There's so much stuff going on. There's like guardians everywhere, and you have
Wow.
to kill enemies to just make it playable.
Well, that's
I thought
your incentive.
Exactly, it keeps you going.
I thought Definitive Edition worked pretty well. I thought
Yeah.
felt like ran
No, that-
really well, but
You get all the
from
video
memory,
stuff.
yeah.
Well,
I love-
hopefully,
I love that
hopefully-
game personally. I hope he has fun with it.
Yeah.
I really had a great time with.
Who's
with
your playable character of choice? What's your go-to?
it.
Linkle. He's definitely a Linkle kind
No,
of.
I'm not really a big
Linkle?
Linkle.
Linkle's-
No, not really. I really liked. I'm trying to remember. It's so long since I played it. I
Yeah.
really liked.
Same.
I really liked. I liked Impa a lot. And I also liked playing
More
as
like Simpa.
Ooh.
Oh,
Well, there's a lot of
you got
different
me there.
imps. You got water sword impa and you got like fire stick impa. You know, like,
I think it was Water Sword Impa I liked a lot.
I was a big Zant enjoyer myself.
Ooh, Zant, yeah, he was pretty fun.
Throw a big and step on everybody.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who else I liked. I liked Marin, but that's just because like I Link's
Yeah.
Awakening is like one of my favorite games, so
Good stuff.
Marin was fun.
I've still never played Hyrule Warriors, but hopefully, come
Good try.
Switch 2, we can get that up to like 30 FPS. Really cooking.
Here's hoping.
Wow, we're cooking now. Oh my
Let's
gosh.
not get too crazy. Also, let me activate my spooky surprise too. Because I didn't have the costume at first. I went and got this shirt, but get ready. Ooh.
No!
Oh!
Whoa!
What the fuck? It's the
Luigi's
Luigi's
Mansion.
Mansion.
It is.
Luigi's actually here. If I move
Oh, is he?
it.
Oh no!
Oh,
He's so he's just
Mario.
he's really scared behind you.
Yeah.
You're
Jesus.
protecting him. There you go.
It's a very short GIF, so the lightning's gonna strike a lot.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
like
lightning.
this one. It's
It's,
going on.
it's just a very active storm out there.
Doesn't hit as
So
hard.
I have an alternate one if the lightning proves to be too much. Oh, I gotta have that on to change it. Sorry.
Wow.
There we go.
Ooh.
Oh.
Let's call.
Oh yeah, it's the ballroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one
Anyway.
sets its own. Yeah. Yeah, too
the
bad.
games-
I have a Luigi costume too that I wore
Oh.
one year, so
Oh yeah, you did.
it would have been
I
good.
remember that.
You know, I wore one of those too, and I don't know where that is.
That would have been
I wore it
perfect.
and it,
You're
like,
right
just-
in there.
It evaporated in a puff of smoke.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it's Luigi after all. It's bound to happen. Just evaporates in a puff of smoke.
So the games I was selected to play
Mhm.
was actually kind of related to the room I'm in. They're all rhythm
That's
games.
true.
Oh, that's fun.
That worked out better than I'd planned.
Yeah.
But I was listening to the Phineas and Ferb song "Ain't Got Rhythm"
Yeah.
in like the shower, and I was like,
Of
"This
course.
slaps." And I thought, "Oh, this will be a good theme," because I was writing up all my themes before I posted,
hmm
and I'd put originally I think it was Hi-Fi Rush and like Crypt of the Necrodancer,
Mm.
but I thought it's kind of like a roguelike. Maybe that's hard to tell when you beat it. So I
Hmm.
switched it to a game that's probably worse in that regard, which is Hatsune Miku Mega Mix Plus.
yeah. Wait, how do you know when you
Love it.
beat that game?
I have no idea. Still, I'm just gonna keep. I think there's like a player level, and I think 39 is the cap. So I might
Okay.
just go for that. But if I hit credits before that, then
Mm.
we're good.
You know,
Hmm.
you know the website howlongtobeat.com. You ever use that?
Yeah,
I wonder
It's-
is that on there?
it is, and it's long.
It's like
No, no.
250 hours.
It's something. It's not that bad. I could probably look it up right
Yeah.
now. But I also had Hi-Fi Rush, and I've, as we were saying beforehand, may have already accidentally completed that
Whoops.
because I had the day off.
What do you
and I was
mean?
improving. Oh, it's not bad. It's only 16 hours. That's
Okay.
doable.
Very doable.
Completionist is 111 hours. I won't be doing
I know
that.
you'll go for
Crypt-
that. I know
Crypt of the
you'll-
Necrodancer is, I think, it is pretty definitive. I'm having played it. I actually haven't even beat it with Cadence herself. It's very hard. It's a very hard game. So even beating it probably it's gonna take practice because that game just will take practice.
Well, I don't have it. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I know you don't have
Yeah.
it, but I'm just going back. It's I think because you have to play through it with 4 characters, I think, in order to get like credits, because that's like the main story, and there's a bunch of other characters that you can play through it with too.
Have you
And it is
played-
the hardest platinum trophy probably in history to get.
Glad I switched.
Upwards of 1,000 hours for that platinum trophy.
Have you played the Zelda version as well? The Zelda one was good.
I played the demo. I really liked it a lot, but I haven't played through it myself yet.
As a Zelda enjoyer, that was a good one for me.
Mm.
But and I was talking with Zach, who's on this side for me. I don't know if that's gonna go through in the video, but
That works.
I got the idea. Oh, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Zach, somewhere up there.
I had the idea to do. I should have put Rhythm Heaven on there because I've been meaning to play that, and I know you love it.
I love
But,
it. Yeah. So I mean,
I like Rhythm Heaven a lot too. It's a
yeah,
good
Rhythm
game.
Heaven on the DS is really good, and then Rhythm Heaven Fever is particularly one of my favorites. So
I got the 3DS game before the shop closed down. I was pretty excited about that.
I did
Mega
not.
Mix or whatever it is. It's
Mega
really
Man
good.
X, yeah.
Yeah, Mega Man X. Yeah, great game.
What's it called? Mega Man
True.
X. That's Rhythm Heaven.
No,
Great
Mega
game,
Mix.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was. It's called that. I think.
Yeah.
Rhythm Heaven, Mega Man X.
Dude,
Oh.
that's the crossover we didn't know we needed.
That'd be
Actually,
great.
yeah.
Mega Man X has some slappers.
It really does. Yeah.
Didn't Spark Mandrill also cleared the like music voting that we had? I remember when I first joined, you
Yeah.
guys were in the middle of a musical vote.
Yeah.
Right.
Spark Mandrill. It should have. It's been. I remember when I was like a little kid. I was like, that's like one of my favorite pieces of game music. It was so good.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little more partial to Boomer Kuwanger these days, but Spark Mandrill's still right up there.
Boomer.
Another Storm Eagle was a good one too. I think.
Ooh, yeah, that's another
is
good
that the
one.
one
Yeah.
is that the guitar one you were doing earlier? Is that
No, that was Spark
I
Mandrill.
forget how Storm Eagle goes. I know it's good, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Luke, what are your odds? What odds do you put? What percentage would you give yourself that you'll be at least a gent in this challenge?
I would say they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I have a pretty
It's got to be at least
80%
100%.
confidence.
That's gonna be.
Well, the thing about Hi-Fi Rush is the levels are each like an hour. So
Mhm.
if you break it down by level, it's only like 10 or 11 levels. And the first day I downloaded it, I wanted to try it out. I went through like 3. Because it just keeps going and eventually gets like your hideout. And then the next time I played, I just like played through like 4, did some other stuff, went back, just finished it.
Yeah.
Good game. It was very fun. I kind of wish it did more with the rhythm, which is why I'm excited, I guess, to get clowned on by Hatsune Miku. That'll, I think, take a bit more musical skill because Hi-Fi Rush is a lot of like 4/4 songs. If you guys know music theory,
Yeah.
they didn't really mess with music that much. They're all pretty basic. That
No swing or cut time. or
no,
anything.
I was waiting
Yeah.
for it because like I love Mother 3, as you could tell by the Ness shirt, perhaps, and
Mm.
that gets real funky at the end with the music. There's some
Yeah.
songs that like fans don't even know what the time signature is,
hmm
like at the
Love
very
that.
end. But that was fun. I'd say that a bit dismissively. I did really enjoy it, but it was a very fun
I mean, it's
game.
a fucking rhythm game. What do you
Well, I
say?
kinda- I kind of hope that maybe they do something with that with the if they end up making a sequel, Tango
Yeah.
GameWorks, since they have the rights to it. They bought the rights back. So.
I said that
They-
message at first. I think I said something like, I can't wait to see what the studio does because I remember they were shut down like the day after releasing this. But I hear they're back. That's good because
they got picked up by, I don't think it was Tencent, but it was another, I think it was a Korean studio actually instead of Chinese. So I think it was a Korean studio bought them. Which exciting. I hope they showed a lot of promise. I really like the animation and voice work of that game a lot. Because I think Jack DeSena does the lead protagonist's voice in that. He's like Sokka in Avatar:
he
The Last
sounded
Airbender.
familiar.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
yeah. Because he's great. So
Yeah, the characters are all very fun and very true to themselves in a wholesome way. It's a cute little
love
story.
that. Love that.
Well, you're in a position where you're already a gent, so you could go to sleep for the rest of the challenge,
Good.
and it would be fine. You've done your duty, but now you can just go for Supreme. And
I
Yeah.
could. My chances of getting Supreme, I guess if it's 11 hours, they're pretty high. But I've been
gotta
playing
be
like the
close
new
to
Zelda, and I was telling Zach I'm playing UFO 50, which is a great game I recommend to all the gamers out there.
hmm
But
Yeah, that's then the new what's his name? Derek Yu.
yeah,
His new
it's
game.
Monkey
Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
It's really good. I've been playing
Yeah, I've
some
heard-
of that.
nothing but good things about it. So
There's like 4 games I don't care for in like the 50 game pack. So
that's
great,
pretty.
great score.
It's great.
But I will try my best to hang out with Miku, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah, you'll be done.
Cool.
You'll be like done before the halfway.
You have to
point.
like.
Come on.
You have to tell your world and all the classics.
What was
That's-
mine?
that- yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Polka leak spin.
Right.
That's-
Yeah.
That was the tutorial stage. Actually, I've done that.
Oh,
one.
was it? Oh, okay.
You gotta have it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then I did. There was a version of the Nyan Cat theme, which I was like, well, I gotta see this. And she gets real funky with it. Like at the 40-second mark, it's bizarre. You gotta listen to it. They threw me through the loop on that one. I'll say.
The only Miku games that I have Project Diva 1 and 2 on the PS3, but I haven't picked up any of the later ones. So
Yeah, I'm not really a big Miku head. Like it's funny because the 2 games I played aren't even like, I guess I don't technically own them. It's on the Steam family share, is how I found my 2 rhythm games.
Oh, okay.
Not to offend the the collectors in the
Yeah.
chat, but I'm playing on shared time
This is what
basically.
it is.
Yeah.
So,
So it's interesting. We've got already at the time of recording this, we're October 6th. We've got 7 out of the 15 people are Gents already.
Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
incredible. Everybody was really excited.
Back in the
Keep
day
going.
on Gents challenges, you'd be lucky if you get that at the end of the challenge. Like there would be have like 50% success rate. Period. Now we're knocking it out within the first week. It's like people will be done both of their games within the next week. I'm sure, a couple people. So, But okay,
Maybe
so
you gotta, let's say, throw a 3rd game at them. They're getting too
I know,
cocky.
right?
I gotta keep them honest.
I'm gonna kick Dubs' butt if he starts playing Final Fantasy VII Remake without me watching, because I watched him play through the original game. We had a great time. I got to voice. I mean, obviously all the characters are voiced, but we voiced the characters together through all the dialogue. It was a lot of fun. So I'm hoping he doesn't, or else I'll kick his butt.
So one
I
thing,
at least I want to watch some of it. I love that game. So.
one thing I was saying is an added challenge for us is that we have a game we're reviewing in a couple weeks. It will also be a distraction for me, and so I'm probably going to try to knock that out first. Because we're literally got
I'm
a
probably
couple
gonna
weeks today.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm gonna start that tonight after we're done recording. And then I realized, wait, tonight's Terraria, I can't do that. So I'm gonna start it this week.
Yeah. So we got that, but the games I was assigned, my theme was called, I believe, Feudal Japan meets Japanese mythology. All right, so I have Ghost of Tsushima, and I got Okami. What a combo, right?
Yeah, those are good.
That's killer.
It is a great combo.
And I remember Ninja Penguin is who Ninja Pengu is who I was partnered with, and I was like, here we go, the Agent of Chaos. Let's see what he does. But then he was asking me a lot of questions, getting intel on what games I had played, and he had a lot of criticisms of the versions of the games that I owned. And
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, he was like, why do you have the original Xenoblade? Gross. Get that out of here.
he's like, there's so many really good ones that I want to pick, and then it's paired with a game that's like not the best version. But he rattled through a few of them, asking me questions. It was like, he asked me Pokemon Legends Arceus. He's like, how much did you play that? Why did you stop playing that? And I was like, well, it was like probably around another Gents challenge started, and just got distracted. And then it was like, Xenoblade. He didn't like that it was on the Wii. And I'm like, I bought it on the Wii and the new 3DS. I'm not buying the definitive edition. Stop this madness.
The definitive edition. I do love the artwork. I do. The definitive edition is really, really good looking though. That's the thing. This game looks for the time even it looked terrible, but it was like. It was such a good adventure on the Wii, but
like,
now it's like.
But it's like, damn! Now even he assigned me Ghost of Tsushima and Okami, and now people are telling me I gotta buy the new Okami because this isn't good enough. I was assigned this game. I'm gonna play this game right here.
I'll never be happy.
And
No.
It's just
Okami
like
HD is very pretty as
it's
well.
just
but-
tiring how all like half of my games are just obsolete now. Like I have to upgrade all of them. What do
don't
I have
have
all
to.
these games for? I have to always get the new HD definitive edition on whatever system, you know. Like I played Uncharted on the PS3 and I had no problems.
Hey,
you know.
I've got the same thing too. I haven't gotten the Nathan Drake collection, so
Yeah.
And then they remake the remake.
they
recently.
remade. Yeah, they've got like a full ass collection now,
Yeah, now
With,
it's like I got The Last of
and they
Us remastered. Is that not good
Yeah.
enough?
and different trophy lists too. They have all the various versions of those games all have different trophy lists. So
I'm mad at Uncharted 3
Yeah.
for its trophy list because I downloaded the multiplayer demo and played one match and I got a trophy. But then I never bought the game, and I'm not like a trophy hunter, but it's always been in my list at like 0.1%.
yeah,
I'm like, it doesn't count. Get it out of there.
Can I get rid of this trophy?
I think it was the last challenge I had Sly Cooper, which I played on the PlayStation 2, and people are like in awe of that. I was like, whoa, how do you ancient technology? But
They haven't even. The PS3 is like the most recent version. They didn't even.
I know.
I don't think they've even
it's
brought
one
it
of those
forward
weird
from that.
ones where they didn't have like a PS4 collection or anything, which I thought was kind of lame, but whatever. So this Ghost of Tsushima is the one I started with, and I've only played a couple hours of it. It's surprisingly challenging, actually. Even early on, I'm getting killed a lot. I'm like, what am I doing? You really have to learn how to navigate it well. Certain situations, it's much better to use stealth, and I try to, but I suck. Games where you have to be stealthy is just not in my nature. You know, I could not do Metal Gear Solid. I tried, and I could not do it. But this one, the combat's interesting. It takes some getting used to, but it's really cool. I've also, because simultaneously I had recently started watching like Shogun, so I'm like full in on like on the whole Japanese mythology as well as feudal Japan with this theme. So it's going to be challenging. These are both pretty meaty games, so I was actually surprised how long Okami was as well.
Okami's like a 40-hour game, I think, from what I...
They're both like 30 plus hours at least. And of course, with a game like Ghost of Tsushima, it's like more than likely I will get distracted and do other stuff as well. So it's like probably more than that. So I would love to do Supreme Gent, but I would put my money on me being a Gent at least, you know. But hopefully I can play both because I'd love to play both of them. But it's like I was saying, we have this other game we're doing for the horror month, which is almost like a third Gents Challenge game at that point, you know?
Yeah.
So it's an added layer.
Gonna need to...
But I'm looking forward to playing
cranking on that.
Yeah. I don't think that one's too long, though. I think that's a pretty doable...
the horror game.
Not move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be manageable. It'll be manageable. We'll do it. But
it is, and that was the thing is I knew I had ones that are harder than this pair even in my pairs of games, and I was
Same.
willing to put them on there, just have a challenge, not always have like one layup game and then one long game. So I had a couple of these even going through like I had both Final Fantasy 10s. 10 10-2 was one of the pairs.
yeah, wow, that's a meaty. Yeah, like I had some pretty hefty stuff here myself.
Oh, and I do want to say that I didn't have a huge preference in Ninja Pengu's lists, but I ultimately just went on vibe. I was just feeling the vibe of Grand Theft Auto 4 and Mafia 1 remastered. I think, what do you call it? Slavs versus Guidos or something?
Yeah,
was the name of the
Slavs. Yeah.
Great.
I don't know. I've been wanting to play Mafia for a while myself. I've actually... I don't know. I'm just in the the Godfather. I'm in my Godfather era ever since we watched that. So.
I was meant to watch that for the movie challenge.
You were meant to, yeah.
I'm so bad at watching movies. I let it slip by.
Ah.
I'm a bore.
You're
a bore.
Yeah.
Mark of shame.
The Film Buffs Challenge was fun as well. I guess that we could also mention that because we don't do separate videos for it. But yeah, we did all participate in that. Of course, Alec was right at the buzzer. It was like 11:59 or something that he posted this last movie.
Yeah, I was. I timed it. It was after our what? I started like immediately after our Pathfinder session. I was like, "Cool, I'm starting it right now. Boom.
Yeah,
I can finish it before the end of the." I'm glad I did too, because big Naruto fan, and that movie was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's for Naruto fans. The last is like basically like the perfect cherry on top of that story. So.
I had such a weird mix of movies. I had like American Sniper, The Book of Life, Dune, Lord of the Rings, and what was the other one? I forget what my other one was. But then I also like the supreme one was like a movie called Atlas, which is like a mech movie starring Jennifer Lopez, like in a mech suit.
Yeah.
And it was not good, but I watched
What?
it.
What?
No,
No! You can't. You gotta be kidding! That sounds amazing.
Oh, and the other one, how could I forget? It was Black Panther. That was like my favorite, one of my favorites. So
Good movie.
but it was like a wild mix of movies.
Yeah, I got an incredible. Like my list was all like bangers. Basically, I had like.
All bangers, no
looking back-
mash.
Pretty much. It was like it was Batman 1989, which I really enjoyed. It RoboCop, the original, Alien, the last Naruto, the movie, and now I'm having trouble remembering what the fifth one was.
Stuff.
It was good. Whatever it was good. They were all good.
I think my list was all like iconic movies you should watch,
Right.
just because I don't watch movies, so they're all on the backlog. But I got to see Terminator 2, which slapped, just
Mhm.
Arnold, being a boss. And then
Classic
I watched
Arnold.
Saving Private Ryan, which like made me sad because it reminded me that war exists. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah.
this is
I watched American
oh,
Sniper, which like Ninja Penguin said is kind of just like propaganda.
Yeah.
It's like American propaganda, and I'm like,
Hardcore. Yeah. Hardcore.
So-
It is hardcore propaganda. Oh, it was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, that's a good
That was the
one.
other. That was so fun. That was so much fun. Yeah, I really liked. I really liked all my movies were spectacular. So
So the
Batman
thing-
1989 was really fun because I guess the 4K, the like official Warner Brothers 4K version is like people are pretty critical of it because they kind of blow out the image. It's like very bright in spots where it really shouldn't be. So I got my hands on like a film print 2K scan of it. Like somebody scanned a film reel. So it's obviously it's a little scuffed, but it looks. It was the way to watch it. It looked beautiful. I'd love to go see like a film version of that like on the big screen. It was so much fun.
Who is the who's Batman in that one? Which one is that?
Michael Keaton. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
89. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was such a fun interpretation. Because it was back when Tim Burton was not like a soulless hack. Though I will say, despite that, I do actually really like Wednesday quite a lot with the show. So, and I guess the new Beetlejuice is pretty good, from what I understand as well. But yeah, I thought Batman was great. Like making it sort of like a fairy tale is basically how it was, and it was really it was a fun take on that character. So
Yeah, mine was a weird mix of like ones I definitely wanted to watch, like Lord of the Rings, which is like one of those movies where I'd seen a lot of it, like when I was really young, but I had no real memory of it except for like vague things and the things that are in the zeitgeist of film. But so that was interesting to watch, and then just like random ones I never would have expected people to pick, like The Book of Life and American Sniper. So that was fun. But the beauty of the Film Buff Challenge this time around was at least everybody, even if you were a bore, you got to experience a couple new movies at least. So it was cool. We'll see what we do next time for the off-season challenge. So previously, Luke, we've done Scholars Challenge, which was books,
Right.
and it's just been Scholars and film challenges so far, I think.
And there was talk of a TV one potentially, but that didn't go through, I think.
That's a possibility. I was thinking originally, my whole thing was like, I don't want to do more than like twice in a row of a certain challenge, but I'm thinking maybe I won't even do like, I'll do like no repeats. So the Film Buff Challenge could be off the table next time, and I could then it could be between like the Scholars Challenge or the TV Challenge. That could be something.
Yeah, we've thrown music around too, but that one's also kind of hard to.
Doesn't seem
figure out.
people don't seem to take to it too much. You know, not too
Yeah.
much interest. But you know,
You have to pick like albums, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be like
Mhm.
listening to probably albums or even partial discographies, even I think, because
Yeah, it was
music
like-
is pretty can be pretty passive.
Yeah.
So
I think it was like 5 or 6 albums or something. Because like to have any, even that, it seems like it's like nothing. So I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what the number was.
Just driving to work, you throw one on.
Yeah.
yeah.
But all right. So anything else in this Gents Challenge overall? Anybody else's games stick out to you or anything?
It's a nice list that you've made here in Buddy Cop pairings. Appreciate the
Mhm.
collection. Resident Evil 2 Remake is one I played last challenge. That's a fun game. I hope Mr. Kingdom Hearts boy enjoys
Mhm.
it as I did.
Hmm.
And Black Mesa too. That's an incredible remake of Half-Life.
I remember. So my friend Tara, who's already played Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. How did she do that, by the way? Like,
Everybody,
it's like 2 days.
She can destroy games. She's pretty good at it.
Wow.
She's a wizard. I don't know. Because we were roommates in college. So,
Mhm.
I remember when, because I was this is where I was going with this, because I remember when Black Mesa was like still kind of in beta. I
Yeah.
remember her playing through it, and like just like looking over her shoulder, I was like, this game is so good. Like it looks so good. Yes, yeah, very, very cool, very good remake. So
Even going back to Half-Life 1, I think is fun. Like there's a
Hmm.
cool multiplayer version of it on Steam, which I wouldn't recommend for a first playthrough because it's probably not how that was intended to be played. But it's very fun for like if you have a couple of friends and you want to show one of them Half-Life.
Another thing with the beauty of the Gents Challenge is that if you look like the pairing between Dubs and the Rebel the Rebellion, I don't think anyone else in this challenge would have assigned the Rebel the Rebellion, Drawn to Life, and Epic Mickey as the
Yeah, well-
pair. It's like, whoa.
Dubs really just wants people to suffer with Epic Mickey. I don't know what the hell his problem is. He knows how much I didn't like that game.
He has the Epic Mickey Wii remote.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Rebel of the
wow.
Brilliant.
He's ready.
I don't think that would have changed my mind on that, but it definitely would have made the experience more interesting. I'll
Hell
give
yeah.
you that.
Yeah, Alec played that in the
Um,
previous challenge.
Yeah,
But
not my favorite game
yeah.
of all time.
Drawn to Life's cool though. I'm a
Drawn
big
to
Drawn to
Life,
Life is pretty good. I really like the theming. I actually really like the fact that Mr. Kingdom Hearts Boy picked Police Knots and Blade Runner for Pestro. I am, as somebody who still has yet to beat his game last time, Cyberpunk was one of the games that I was challenged last time. I'm still in the middle of it. That's like one of my favorite games of all time, and I haven't beaten it yet. I love that the cyberpunk, or the sort of like, you know, that futuristic sort of kind of setting is like one of my favorite just settings in fiction. So both those games being pretty much set in that kind of a vibe, those kind of a world. Police Knots, I don't know tons about the world. I think Police Knots is set in the Snatcher universe from memory. But Blade Runner, of course, being in Snatcher is heavily based on Blade Runner itself. So you get a kind of cool vibe there. So I thought that was fun because Kingdom Hearts Boy was like, nah, I have to go with the theme. We got to go with this theme. It's the buddy cops. You're doing a game where you're playing as cops. There you go.
Absolutely.
Um,
I mean,
so
the thing with these, yeah, everybody had some, for the most part, really creative pairs, which was fun. Just to put them together to begin with was fun, but also makes for a different calculus when you're choosing games for people. It's not like you can just be like, what are my favorite 2 games on their list? You have to be like, maybe what's my favorite game, and am I fine with what it's paired with? You know, there's different like considerations that go into it. I think my brother got a layup, and
he sure did.
My brother's Krillin Ball Z on the Discord, and he's been successful every Gents challenge that we've ever done in history. He's been a Gent at least, so that's like 20 Gents challenges now, and so there's no way I'm giving him Undertale and Buddy Simulator for a free
He-
W.
He
But
finished super early. I mean, I finished super early, but he was like in before me.
Yeah.
Buddy Simulator. I don't even know what that game is, but it must be a good one or quick.
yeah, some sort of indie game. I know he had mentioned it to us before. He mentioned it to me before, at least, that maybe it would be a fun one for us to review sometime. But
Mm.
I don't remember all the details of it. But
Yeah, Tara's she's a big indie game fan. She's also a huge Undertale fan, so that probably was like why more than anything is just like gotta have him play Undertale.
and a Megalovania
And
fan.
I'm wearing the Sans costume today. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, that's right. I because I played through Undertale for Gents Challenge last year, and I love it. It's a wonderful game.
Yeah.
I still have to go back and do my genocide run, but I'll be doing that at some point. Your brother hasn't beaten Undertale because if he just gets credits once, that's not beating it, in my opinion. You have to.
You gotta do all three.
You have to. I don't think you have to do all three.
Like,
You should do.
what's good in your opinion, or
I think definitively, I think you should play through it once, because once you have to play through it like a certain way. And second, you should do a pacifist run. I think pacifist run is like kind of the true ending of the game. So I think
Then
that
you would never encounter the funny boss fight.
yeah.
So you gotta do the genocide route as well.
Yeah, you have to do genocide. Yeah, the funny boss fight is through genocide. It's true.
what gives?
Oh, that is actually legitimately difficult. I
Oh,
started
yeah,
it. I started it and I was like, wow, this is actually kind of hard. So-
Have you ever been? There's like a website you can go to where you can just fight him. I forget what it's called, but
Oh,
really?
I mean, if you Google it, you can probably find it. But I'll
Oh.
just do that sometimes, just to
Me-
grind it out.
Megalovania.net.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how everything goes. What our numbers look like at the end of this, how many gents and whatnot. But anything else?
No, I think that's it.
What do you
I
think?
had a lot of fun coming up with names for all my categories. I will say, I love this idea. I kind of hope it gets someone steals it in nominations in the future. Be like, all right, let's do this again, because it was just so much fun coming up with pairs. So
So
Who
who
does
do you
the-
think the first Supreme Gent would be on this list? If you had to place your bets.
Hmm.
I think ooh.
Can we
I would
place? Wait, can we
probably-
place a bet on first Supreme Jet and most likely to be a rascal?
Ooh, that's a good call. I mean, honestly, I'm torn between you
Get the fuck.
and
It's a lot of
And
Vocaloid
Bill.
music to go through, man.
it is a lot of Vocaloid music to go. That's true. And Krillin Ball Z. Krillin Ball Z. Honestly, your brother is probably gonna be able to slam through this. Undertale's a pretty easy, pretty quick game.
Yeah, but if Tara got through Chrono Trigger that quick, then she'd knock out Final Fantasy V before we even know
She
it.
could, but Final Fantasy V is a little bit. She could get involved in the weeds with like grinding and class stuff in that game. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see. Looking through, I'm gonna say the most likely to be a rascal is honestly gonna be my friend Josh, Broccoli the Guardian. I think he has a tough time ahead of him, because like those games aren't really short. They're not like terribly long. Deadly Premonition, from memory, probably took me a good 20-25 hours to beat, but Yeek, I don't know how long that game is. I
You gotta have
don't.
a strong mental game.
You do have to. You do have to wade your way through a lot of bullshit in that game. So
Yeah, I mean, it would be between him and me also for
Yeah.
me, but I have faith in myself. So I would say, yeah, Broccoli the Guardian. I would probably do say the same, but
yeah,
if it was last time, I would have picked you 10 times out of 10, and it would have worked. Because you had like Cyberpunk and Bloodborne.
yeah. That was
tough.
a rough pair. It's tough. Yeah, I'm probably about like a little more than halfway through Cyberpunk. It's, it was doable, but like I couldn't. I had to like, I couldn't really force myself to play it.
Yeah.
So, but
And yeah, Supreme Gent would probably, well, Luke could very easily be the Supreme Gent as well. Yeah, there's definitely contenders.
easily.
But if you're working on other games right now, maybe
deep in the weeds
Yeah.
with UFO 50.
Yeah.
So maybe between Dragon Ball Z and Terra.
Yeah, I'll talk to her tonight when figure out because playing Terraria. We'll
It's like,
figure
man,
out.
wow,
I'll
you're
see how
taking forever on
if
this
she's-
Final Fantasy V.
Yeah, what the hell's going on? What's
Fucking
happening?
Almost a week in this thing. All right,
No,
well,
I will say that's the Final Fantasy with maybe the least interesting story of any of them, and that's saying a lot because like 3 doesn't really have that interesting a story, but 5 is like 5 has like fun characters, but its story is a little dull, a little rote. The real draw to that game is the gameplay. The gameplay is everything in that game, and it is really, really good. Like the best iteration of that classic job system. So,
okay.
but
All right, well, thank you for joining us to the beginning of another Gents Challenge. Come back in a couple months, and we'll talk about how it all went. Luke, is there anything you'd like to plug for the viewers to check out?
I'll try to think of something by the end of the challenge.
Think
I-
of something.
I have a
Maybe.
YouTube channel where I made fan art of Zach one time, but I don't upload them there very often.
That's an old one. An old
It's
one.
very old.
I also
Oh.
watched your tier list of all the Christmas songs.
Oh,
back
yeah.
then.
Did you agree on the whole, or
You know, I'd have to really go back and there was definitely some hot takes in there, but I'd have to really
I
dissect
can't
it.
Chris-
remember?
Christmas what? Christmas songs
Just-
or Christmas
Just like
songs?
almost every Christmas
Okay.
song you could imagine.
Oh wow.
Because I was actually inspired by that at the time, and we were thinking about. I was trying to do it for the channel,
You've-
but we couldn't get the list
Yeah.
together with enough time, you know. To
Well, I
Yeah.
could have sent you the list. I would have gladly hooked you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Maybe
Hey, well, this
Christmas,
year, maybe this Christmas we could do it. We've
Fish it
talked
out.
about it. I
Yeah,
do love
but-
Christmas music.
because
So.
I had some weird ones that Alec took issue with as well. I was like, I don't want to do all just the basics, you know.
Oh, you gotta have some weird stuff.
Mama Christmas pie or something weird like that, you know.
What?
I don't know what that is.
I just made that one up, but along those lines.
Mama Christmas pie.
Someone will AI make that by Christmas.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can throw that on
Get
there.
Christmas shoes out of here. That's all I want to say.
Christmas shoes. We gotta get Christmas shoes in there.
Christmas shoes. Yeah, well, you have to have it in there, but I'll tell you where it's going.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right where it's going.
That's what the bottom tier is for.
Like garbage.
Yeah. There's such like Christmas songs as a category is such a random mix of stuff.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's so fun because you get there's this weird. It's a weird interplay with because a lot of religious, but they have a lot of secular music, and then there's it's just like a weird
Yeah.
blend in a lot of it
you're
sometimes.
Simply
so.
having a wonderful Christmas time.
Oh God, that's another one of the worst.
Christmas rapping. Christmas rapping's a good
What
one.
is that?
It's Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. But I think I'll skip this one this year. You know that one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
It's trash.
Also, yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm a big fan. I'm a big defender of Last Christmas. I think that song is way overhated. I love that song.
Last Christmas. Yeah.
Wham.
Yeah, it's Wham. Yeah, Wham. There's such a classic. It's
Now, what was the what's the really bad? What was like 12 like the 12 Days of Christmas that like parody, where it was about like them being angry?
oh
12
God.
Pains of Christmas.
Oh, I like to pretend that doesn't exist.
That's
They
a
just scream the whole song.
Yeah.
Why the hell are they blinking? I just
Car
remember that.
crashes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember the why the hell are they blinking? Because I remember being, as a very little kid, I remember being kind of shocked that they played that on the radio. I was like, oh my gosh.
So do you want
I
to
don't
plug?
think
Do you want to plug the channel where they can find this video?
I think it's probably Wawa Dude. That's
Yeah, I think it is Wawa.
my online persona since like I was
Alex, you know
7
what
or
Wawa
whatever.
is?
Yeah, isn't that like a supermarket chain?
Yeah, it's more like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's
But the
7-Eleven
thing is,
type.
it's not even named after the store. It was named after
Oh,
my
really?
friend had a RuneScape account called Yaya, and I was like, well,
Okay.
if you're Yaya, I'll be Wawa.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But
Your
I
heart
regret it
doesn't
to this
bleed in the Wawa colors as
Not
like
at
all
all,
New
no.
Jerseyans do.
like
Yeah.
doing weird stuff where they're like, we have pizza now, and I'm like, how about
Really?
you just stay in your lane, you know?
It's true.
I
The
don't need
pizza
the
is
Wawa.
ass. The
I don't need the
pizza's
Wawa
ass.
burger. Just make the chicken
The
sandwich.
burgers are
Yeah.
actually pretty good. I do like the burgers, but the pizza is ass. Yeah, but they
See-
really have been expanding their hot prepared foods section for sure.
This sounds a lot like in Britain they have Tesco. Tesco is like a 7-Eleven ish, and the Tesco meal deal is like something I've heard legend of, and I feel like if I'm ever visiting, if I'm ever in London, I need to visit a Tesco's and get a meal deal
Well,
because
do you
it's like
have Sheets? Is that near you? That's like
near
a
me?
Wawa thing. Yeah.
I know of Sheets. There aren't really any of those around me. I think I will be in Virginia next weekend, so I think I definitely know there are Sheets down that way,
But it's like 7-Eleven's the closest
Yeah.
comparison, but it's like much higher quality than 7-Eleven at least. You know.
Well, our 7-Eleven.
keep it
I hear
Yeah.
because like
Jap-
Alice was in
that's
Korea
true.
recently, and she's like, their 7-Elevens are crazy.
Yeah.
Japanese 7-Elevens are pretty well
Heard that too.
pretty high.
Yeah, did Rusty?
pretty
Yeah,
high.
Rusty mentioned that in his video about Japan. I think.
Yeah.
The 7-Elevens are actually really good.
Yeah, there's Lawson's, 7-Eleven, and I don't remember what the third major conveni chain is, but
Because like 7-Elevens near us in New Jersey, it's like ass. But
oh yeah,
and
7-Eleven
not
around here is ass.
not
yeah.
touching any prepared foods from 7-Eleven either. Like chicken sandwich.
Hell no,
Yeah.
hell no. There's yeah.
I digress.
Yeah.
So. All right. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, what video should the viewers check out next? Do you have a video on this channel? I don't know if you watch very much, but Luke, do you know of a video on this channel that they should watch next?
Maybe the last Gents challenge video
Yeah.
to compare and contrast as a safe answer because it's all that's coming to mind. from it, but
There you go.
that's
Hey.
there's my recommendation for
That's
you.
right. You a Mario 64 fan, Luke?
Oh, all the time, yeah.
We just
I'll
recently
do like a
reviewed Mario
random.
64.
Yeah, talked in about an hour. We talked that game in a decent amount of depth, I'd say.
We're gonna be
I'll
going
have to
through
check
all
it out myself.
we're gonna be going through all the 3D Mario games over the months. So
Nice.
it's gonna be fun, including Mario 64 DS. So
Yep.
it's gonna
Yeah,
be
no,
awesome.
Well, that will be covered. That will
It's a
be
very
covered.
different game.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you enjoyed, and all of that. All right. Take care of yourselves. All right.